Today I'm going to tell you an interesting story about the life of Saint Ignatius of Loyola. Saint Ignatius is the founder of the Jesuit order and the patron saint of old-aged students. He was born on October 23, 1491 in northern Spain. His birth name was Inigo López de Loyola, and he was the youngest of the 13 children. He was raised in a family living in a castle, and in his young life, he dreamed of becoming a knight and was interested in pleasures. When he turned 18 years old, he joined the military and was deployed in the Battle of Pamplona, where his leg was hit by a cannonball and was severely injured. He was then brought back to Loyola for surgery and recovery. While being bedridden, he asked the army guards for books about war or chivalry that he could read, but nothing was available. However, his sister-in-law named Magdalena brought him religious books. One of the books was De Vita Christi, also known as The Life of Christ, written by Ludolf of Saxony. As he read through the book, it sparked the beginning of his spiritual transformation, a conversion that would leave a lasting impact in the Catholic Church. It was here that he resolved to abandon his former way of life and follow the footsteps of Saint Francis of Assisi. After his painful recovery in 1521 at 30 years old, he made a pilgrimage to Montserrat. He then lived in a cave near Manresa for almost a year, fasting, praying, and writing down his spiritual reflections. This writing would later become one of his famous works, which is now called The Spiritual Exercises. This book was designed for prayer and contemplation that has to be carried out in solitude for 30 days. After his spiritual awakening, Saint Ignatius realized he needed education to better serve other people. He then went back to school in his 30s to study Latin and philosophy alongside students that were half his age. This is the reason why he is also the patron saint of old-age students. After studying, he went to the University of Paris to study theology. It was here that he met his lifelong companions, including Francis Xavier and Peter Faber, who would also later become saints. Together, they formed a brotherhood that is committed to poverty, chastity, and missionary works. In 1540, with the official approval of the Pope, this brotherhood became known as the Society of Jesus, commonly called the Jesuits. Saint Ignatius became their first superior general, and under his leadership, their congregation grew rapidly. They built schools, churches, and monasteries that was known for its strict education. In his old age, he suffered from chronic fever related to malaria, which was common at that time. On July 31st, 1556, he quietly passed away in Rome, leaving behind the Jesuits as his legacy. His body is currently resting beneath the grand altar of the church called the Church of the Holy Name of Jesus in Rome. This church is the mother church of the Jesuit order. For nearly 500 years, the Jesuits have produced over thousands of priests and nuns and have been running schools in over 120 countries around the world. Today, Saint Ignatius is venerated as the patron saint of old-age students. His feast day is celebrated every 31st of July. If you like stories like this, support us, follow, like, and subscribe.